So this Mazda CX-90 was given to me by Mazda Corporate for an entire year to use for me and my entire family. The exchange was pretty simple. There's no money involved. I get a car for me and my family. I get to make content and they get exposure. And I'm also allowed to say anything I want, good or bad. Big mistake, Mazda. I'm just kidding. This car served us beautifully over the past year, but I am gonna start with the negatives, and that's gonna be new suspension. Now you'll probably notice these aren't the same wheels and tires that come stock on the vehicle. These are 22s instead of 21s, and they're 285/40s instead of 275/45, so you have a thinner tire. So here's an Audi SQ7 given to me by Audi of Mission Viejo. Big thanks to them because they were so kind for letting me use this car for just 20 seconds. But this has 285/35 22s, same width, same size, but a thinner tire, yet it rides better and is more comfortable. It's also a little bit quieter. Granted, this car is $30,000 more. However, that just goes to show the benefits of a good suspension. Even on the stock wheels and tires, this still doesn't ride quite as good as something like a Hyundai Palisade. This is $8,000 less than the Mazda, yet it has the same features. You get more space here in the third row, which can recline and are heated. Considering the Mazda doesn't have that, that should at least be quieter on the inside, have a smoother transmission, and a better ride at the very minimum. Worst case scenario would be having hard suspension and hard seats. This has both. To be fair, the seats should break in over time, but this has 14,000 miles on it, so I don't know. The last one is sound insulation. Because of these very hollow panels, it echoes a lot. As a car and brand positioning themselves towards premium, I think that needs list needs to be fixed ASAP. And especially considering that Mazda doesn't have to worry about stepping on the toes of their luxury brand like Hyundai does, I say they stop being so cautious and go all out. Because if they did, it would take this all the way from a 7 up to a 9, especially considering the pros, like how good this looks. Another pro is how smooth this inline 6 is. Inline 6s are known to be smooth, but this does it exceptionally well. Unfortunately, the transmission doesn't always showcase it that well. I also love how good this leather looks even after 14,000 miles. The suede's holding up well, the suede on the dash is holding up well. This has the best tuning I've ever heard for a Bose sound system, and I love this dial because it means I never get fingerprints on the screen. If you're OCD, that's perfect. The sunscreen shades have been amazing for my boys, and the door opens up really wide, so getting them in and out has been a piece of cake. We don't use the third row too often, but because of that, we get a ton of trunk space, and if I do need the third row up, it's that simple. We've also had zero issues with this car, not even hiccups, because if you didn't know, Mazda is made in Japan, so all their cars have proven to be very reliable. If Mazda gave this adaptive suspension, you can keep that sporty, firm ride quality that Mazda is known for, while also giving you the option to switch between a softer ride quality for everyday use. The softer seats and sound insulation don't sound like a hard fix, but I literally have no clue. And if they can make that transmission match the smoothness of that engine, this thing will be amazing. So should you buy it for $62,000? No. I say wait a bit because this is still the first 2 years of this model. It's completely brand new, but once they iron everything out, don't walk to the dealership, run.